I welcome you to the PDP State Secretariat today, 7th of August 2020. Today, and I will take some questions and answers. So, Mr. Chairman,
thank you very much. Gentlemen and ladies of the press, we invited you today for this press conference basically to give insights to the Edo people and indeed to the Nigerian public to what happened yesterday at the House of Assembly in Edo State. As a party, we've looked at the issues and we've come to the inevitable conclusion, which is that there was a coup attempt yesterday in Edo State. There was an attempt by APC to upset the democracy that we are experiencing in Edo State. And to that effect, we expect the law to take its course. We expect all the agencies of government to look at this issue and come to the same conclusion we have come to. That is, that there was a coup attempt, and we all know what happens when a coup fails and the consequences therein embedded in that failure. For us, it's very clear, and we're not saying this because we are the ruling party in the state. We are saying this because that is what it is, which is, as we speak, there are 10 members of the Edo State House of Assembly. Why are they 10? Yes, 24 members were elected on the platform of the opposition party. For whatever reason, because it is in their DNA to continuously fight themselves, even when they had 24 over 24. Only 10 got themselves inaugurated. That is not the doing of the PDP. That is what the law says. There must be a proclamation, which was done by the governor, which the High Court has agreed to, that there was a proclamation which is an appropriate one, and you cannot give two proclamations for the same assembly. With that proclamation, a speaker emerged in the House of Assembly, and 10 people got themselves inaugurated. The other 14 members are members-elect. They are not members of the State House of Assembly of Edo State. And therefore, they cannot, even with this, if you stretch your imagination to its extreme, they cannot claim to be members of Edo State House of Assembly. And so, after 180 days, which are supposed to sit, they didn't. And the Speaker, Honorable Francis Okiye, rightly declared their seats vacant. And they are in court on this matter. How can you be a senior prefect of a school in which you are not a student? Is it possible? Is it possible for you to be appointed a senior prefect of a school where you are not a student of the school?
no way.
If you are not a member of the House of Assembly, how can you be a speaker? How? So it's very clear for us that this illegality, this attempt to truncate democracy in Edo State will never stand. Never. It will never stand. And I can guarantee you that we will pursue this thing. Of course, we are a law-abiding party. We will do things legally. We will do things with our brains. And we will make sure that everybody connected with this will be dealt with according to the laws of the land. Then the most nauseating of all, the most embarrassing of all, was for this Commissioner of Police to accept to have these people, this purported Speaker and Deputy Speaker elected yesterday in a private residence. He allowed them to come to pay him courtesy call. The CP did that yesterday. The director of DSS did the same thing. That is making us to imagine that these people are not playing neutrality which the Constitution bestows on them. And we are calling on them. We are watching them very closely. They will not believe the level of of surveillance we have on these people. You cannot, there's a high court judgment that says Honorable Francis Okiye is the speaker. You cannot impeach a speaker outside the premises of the House of Assembly. So we, as a party, we're just drawing the attention of everybody to this, that a coup is a coup, and it has its, if your premises is used for coup plotting, if you as a person use your premises, your properties for coup plotting, we all know what the consequences will be. Those that give credence to coup plotters, we also know what the consequences will be. So the CP and the director of SSS, they are put on notice that when we pursue these issues to this logical conclusion, they might be called in to answer why they are giving credence to people who are not what they tell them they are. And that causes that their neutrality is being called to question. And we expect that they should henceforth, as we go forward, do what is right and follow what the rules say. And if a high court has given judgment which has not been vacated, that is what it is. If you don't like it, you go to the appeal. You cannot. If you don't vacate a judgment, you have to obey it, no matter how bad it is. So in that wise, we'll be glad to take your questions. But before that, I will hand you over to our candidates in the House of Assembly who are in court because of this. So how can you be in court? The court has not decided. You are taking laws into your hand in a private residence to do a purported impeachment and election of a speaker. That will not happen. So I'll hand over to the candidates of the party in the House of Assembly in the last dispensation.
We are the ones here present today. We are here to present our position to the entire world on what transpired yesterday. And I'll be reading our statements. We, the PDP 2019 EZEHI candidates, who are still members of the party, condemn in strong terms the shameful and illegal action of 12 former members elects, along with 2 former members whose constituencies, seats, have been declared vacant, and 3 serving members of the Edo State House of Assembly, who purportedly inaugurated themselves dramatically and unlawfully in a private residence in Benin yesterday. For the avoidance of doubt, their action amount to a clear disregard to the judicial process, which they ignited in the Abuja Federal High Court, and also amount to treasonable felony. They are aware of the existing and subsisting cases in court in respect of the vacant constituencies, seats, yet undecided. It should be noted that when their constituencies, seats were declared vacant by the EZEHI in compliance with the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, for refusal to subscribe to the oath of office and allegiance, which was tantamount to adjudication of responsibilities. They approached the Federal High Court to stop Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, from conducting a fresh election as directed by the EZEHI. We PDP 2019 EZEHI candidates also approached the Federal High Court in Benin City, seeking a judicial interpretation in the circumstances where elected candidates refused to subscribe to the oath of office and allegiance after having been issued certificates of return by INEC. As the first runner-up, we requested the court to intervene by applying the legal doctrine of necessity to resolve the matter in order to ensure that the various constituencies are not continually denied representation. It is clear aberration that they have chosen the path of treason by taking the laws into their hands. In the light of the above, we call on the IGP, Inspector General of Police, and the DSS, Director of State Security Service, to check this shameful action in order to stem the tide of anarchy. If this unfortunate and shameful act is left unchecked by not arresting and prosecuting the perpetrators as their sponsors, it will spell doom for democracy and the security of lives and property in Edo State. The Inspector General of Police and other security agencies are expected to do the needful immediately without further delay. We also use this opportunity to call on the Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Frank Abumere Okiye, and other members of the 7th Assembly not to be intimidated or distracted as the Edo people are seen yesterday, today, are solidly behind them. For the stability of governance in Edo State, given that their constituencies to seats have been legally declared vacant, talking about the 12 former member-elects and the 2 who were inaugurated with them, that their seats were also declared vacant. Take note that the 12 member-elects, their constituencies were declared vacant. Why those 2 others, their seats were declared vacant? I'm making 14. And then plus the 3 who also partook in this shameful act yesterday. We are calling on the Inspector General of Police and other security agencies to take action. And for those whose seats and constituencies have been declared vacant, for their refusal to subscribe to the oath of office and allegiance, we hereby use this medium to further make the following demand. 1, that INEC should formally withdraw their certificates of return. 2, issue same to candidates who were made as the first runner-up in the said election. 3, alternatively, a fresh election should be fixed along with the September 19, 2020 gubernatorial election in order to save the state from limited resources. Finally, the perpetrators and their sponsors, as canvassed earlier, are advised to desist from inflaming and heating up the political atmosphere by their heinous acts. This statement is signed by 11 of us here present, and we are here with you to support our party and also to support the good people of Edo State. Thank you very much.